Welcome to the Good Morning from the Chicken Coop podcast with Kim Johnson, your creative strategist and master mindset coach. Filled with inspiration, distinctions, perspectives, and possibilities, we help you to cultivate a mindset that leads you to create the best version of yourself you could ever imagine. Join Kim every morning from one of her favorite happy places, her chicken coop, along with all her chickens.
Hey everybody, good morning from the chicken coop. So how much do you think you spend time in a state of awe? Like, do you really walk around in your world looking for things that are absolutely like, wow? Or do you just go through the day meandering? Maybe here and there you'll pick up something and be like, that's cool. But do you really think you spend time cultivating and working on a state of awe? And looking at the world like the wondrous place that it is. So this is something that I really try to work on for myself, regularly, because it just lifts your soul. It puts you in a different place of attraction. It puts you energetically on a different plane. It's scientifically proven that the happier you are, the more you pour into that side of yourself, the more quality of a life you have, the better things happen to you, the better your health is, the better your existence is, the better your relationships are. Everything becomes better when you approach it and you have a higher state of happiness. And for me, that's cultivating a state of awe. Like just looking at things and being like, wow, this is amazing. It's so wondrous. And it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what you're looking at. I obviously record this from the chicken coop because it's one of my happy places. And for me, coming out here and watching them in their little world and watching how they develop their flock and how you can see who's in charge and how you can watch who treats who which way and how they blend together. It's literally, to me, one of the coolest things that I have ever seen. Like watching, I have this whole little group of babies that I got at Tractor Supply, and one of my hens adopted them for me, which was fabulous. She raised them, and now there are 7 of them. And they're like medium girls. They're like teenagers at this point. And they are really trying to be like big girls. And they are testing the waters to see how far they can go. And in this, the hierarchy of chickens, there really is a pecking order that is real. That's where that phrase comes from. It is definitely real. And I've got some really, dominant hens that don't like to give up any space. And then the rest of them are pretty easygoing. But these little girls are trying to test the water, and they're trying to get in there. And it all comes down to when you eat, where you sleep. There's all these little patterns about them. And I watch them and observe them all the time to see how they're doing. And for me, this triggers a state of awe. Like I would have never thought that chickens are that fascinating. I would never thought they have their whole language. I would never have understood that if I hadn't had them and been with them at this depth like I am here. Just like the fact that the rooster can make one sound and the entire flock, no matter where they are, freeze because there's a threat, and he puts out an alert and everybody freezes. They stop whatever they're doing and they just freeze. And maybe you didn't know that, maybe you didn't know that, but it's pretty cool to watch. And then he makes another sound and they all come running. And he stands there and watches them run for cover, and he's the one out front. He's that chivalrous male standing there out front, making sure that they're all protected. He's the one that's going to take on that hawk, and has, to protect them from anything happening to them. But I would never, and the day that did happen, by the way, I was in a complete and total state of awe to the point where I actually cried because I couldn't believe how cool he was that he would do something like this. I couldn't believe that he would actually put himself in harm's way to protect these girls. And for me, that was like, that old Paula Cole song of Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? Well, I have one, and he's in a chicken form, and he's here at my chicken coop, and I love him for it. He's just the coolest thing ever, and I really genuinely believe that. I am in awe of him for his willingness to do that. I watch how he goes around and he pulls fruit and berries off of our trees and drops them on the ground so that the hens can eat them, because he's quite a bit bigger than the hens. And he drops them for him. He doesn't eat them himself. He feeds the girls. That, to me, I could stand there and say, wow, how cool is that? So my point of telling you all about chickens and this is that this is a way I get my awe. I get my awe fix in this place. I also get it from watching flowers. I also get it from watching the world around me, seeing the trees in different light, looking at all these little things. Because if we stay and we just look for awe in our outcomes and what we're achieving personally, there are days where we'll be starved. We will be starved on it. And we will leave feeling depleted. But if we stop and we just look around us at the world that the universe and God have given us, we can pause and we can go, wow, there is so much here that we could just be infinitely amazed with if we just paused and looked. And it recalibrates you energetically. It pulls you into a different headspace. It puts you in a place where all of a sudden now you can really start to feel amazing about life in general. And then from there, everything else gets exponentially better, as we know, because once you feel good, good things happen. You can really start to tap into that pattern of energy and attraction. So I hope that you have an amazing day finding states of awe, finding the little things that you fire you up. And I hope, no matter what, that when they present themselves to you, you take the time and you pause and you see them. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow. Bye.